is global variable, what is local variable, correct? Okay, now a variable which is created inside a class but outside a method is called what variable? Global variable. Okay, a variable which is created inside a class but outside a method is called as your global variable. So a global variable can be a static or instance level variables. It can be a static level variables or it can be a instance level variables. A global variable will be always live till the execution is completed. A global variable is declared but not assigned with any value, then the compiler will assign its default value. Compiler will be assigned its default value. We'll do one by one. We'll come back and we'll do one by one. So now I created a class called global versus local here. Now variables which are created inside a class, it means this is the area for global variables, areas for your global variables. Okay, inside a class but outside a method. Remember this, but outside a method. Here I don't have any method. Okay, I'm going to create inside a class only. Okay, now int a I have given string yes, I'm going to given boolean b, I'm going to given. Okay, char c, I'm going to given. So like this I'll be giving different types of variables here. Float f. So if I go and give this one a equal to 10, if I go and give a equal to 10, for now let me comment out this. If I go and give this a equal to 10, and I'm going to have public static void add. Okay, now I can able to go and access this variable inside my method directly. So let me remove this static here. Yeah, I can able to go and access this particular variable a directly inside my method. Okay, now main method. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to access this particular method here. So now this is going to be called as what method? Soumya, what type of method? What type of method? Static or instance?
Instance.
Soumya.
Yeah, instance.
Is going to be called as instance, right?
Instance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I able to access instance method or instance variable inside my static block?
No.
So what is the way to do that?
We need to create a class for that.
You need to create an object for that
Yeah.
particular class.
Okay. Okay.
So how to create that object? Class name,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Class name, some reference variable is equal to new class name. గుర్తుందా సౌమ్య?
Yeah, Pratap Garu.
గుర్తుందా?
Yeah, syntax. Okay.
So now what is the purpose of object here? So for instance variables or instance method, object is going to allocate memory. For instance variables for instance method, object is going to allocate memory. Obj dot add. Okay. Now what is the output I'm going to get?
10.
So I'm going to get output as what?
Yeah,
A. What is the value of A?
10.
10. So now, okay, now let me go and run this here. If you observe properly here,
Mhm.
for these variables, I didn't allocate any values.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't assign any values.
Mm.
So now I'm just going and trying to access those variables here. Okay. So
Okay.
now when the variable is created, okay, and I didn't assign any value to that, and if that particular variable is going to be called as global variable, you created a variable as a global variable, okay, it didn't assign any value to that. In such cases, what will happen? The compiler is going to assign them the default values. Okay. So now if I go and run this now, I'll be getting different values here. So for integer, you are going to get 0. For yes, we are going to get a null. String is going to get as a null. For boolean, we are going to get false. For character, we are going to get it as an empty one. So question mark is going to be called as an empty one. Float, you are going to get as 0.0. Float, we are going to get it as 0.0. Got it? Clear?
Yeah, Pratap garu.
Clear, right? So
Yeah.
now these variables are going to be live throughout your program. If you assign value, it will take the value. If you are not going to assign the value, what will happen? It
The
will take the
compiler
default
will.
value.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
ఒక డౌట్ ప్రతాప్ గారు. బూలియన్ అంటే మనకి ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్ అని కదా! బట్ డిఫాల్ట్‌గా ఫాల్సే తీసుకుంటదా? ట్రూ ఇవ్వదా మనకు?
True user. True user. One second. Okay. So now, so that is your daughter, Soumya.
యాహ్!
Clarified?
ప్రతాప్ గారు. యాహ్!
Yeah. So now, let me clear it out all the things here. Let me go and date everything here. Okay. Now let's understand about your local variables. variables which are created inside a method but not available at the class level. Okay, such variables are called as what variables? Local variables. So the life of local variables will be within the block only. Will be within the they will be available only within the block only. So outside of your method, you cannot able to access them. Okay. So here you have to keep in mind when a variable is of type local. Okay. If you define a variable, and not initialized not initialized with any value, such variable cannot be used. Such variable cannot be used. If I define a variable and it not initialized with any value, such variable cannot be used. Now see here, I have my int a comma b comma result. Okay, I have result is equal to now a equal to 10, b equal to 30, result equal to a plus b. Okay, now if I try to use this result, right, if I try to use this result anywhere out of my program, s out of my result, okay, I can't able to see that because this variable is not a global variable. This variable is not going to be a global variable. So this variable lifetime will be available only within this curly braces. We cannot able to see this particular variable outside of your method. So this variable is going to be called as local variable. We cannot able to access them outside of your method. The lifetime will be limited only within this variable alone. Okay. Now here, what happened here is I didn't initialize this variable as out of my result. Now see, if the variable is declared, but you are not initializing with any value. So this variable still a local variable, but you declared, you didn't initialize. Now see, if we try to do that, we are going to get a error saying that variable result might not have been initialized properly. Got it clear?
Yeah, Pratap garu.
Right? Now, so now this is going to be called as local variable versus global variable. Local variable versus global variable. So now let us see one more question here. Can I create a static variable inside a method? Yes or no? Can I create a static variable inside a method? So now let me make this variable as a static. Now here I am going to use int a equal to 10. Okay. Now I'm going to use my static string b is equal to Now see, though the method is going to be of type static, okay, or non-static, we cannot able to create a variable of type static inside a method. We are not supposed to create a static inside a method. So static variables should be available only in the global level, not inside your method level. Because for all the static variables, let me document each and one by one. Answer is no. Reason, yes, today I gave an interview for one of the company called as Quest Global. There they asked this question. So can I create a static variable inside a method? No. The reason is, okay. So static variables must be available available only at the class level, only at the class level. So for all static variables or methods, class will allocate memory. When we have a variable as a static inside a method, when we have a variable of type static inside a method, okay, so those variables are not visible to the compiler. Also, they become local. They become local to that particular method. To that method. So henceforth, we are not supposed to use static variables inside a method. We are not supposed to use your static variables inside a method. Got it clear? So now this becomes an interview question, right? Let me mark it as a star here. Clear, clear? Everyone on the group? Sushmita, Avinash,
Sir,
Soumya?
యా ప్రతాప్ గారు.
Yeah, clear? Yeah. Era Avinash, Niku. Sushmita.
when we have variable as a static inside method, అది అసలు ఒప్పుకుంటుందని మెథడ్ లో స్టాటిక్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి.
నువ్వు రాయడానికి it will allow you to write, but it will not accept it. చూడు ఇక్కడ
యా ఓకే
static modifier is not allowed here.
ఓకే ఓకే
Okay? Yeah. No. I have a global variable with some name, and I have local variable with same name. With same name. Now now I am inside a method. Now I am inside a method where where I want to use both global variable and local variable. Both local variable and global variable. Okay. So how can I use them? So the problem statement is he have a global variable with some name and he have the local variable with some name. Now he want to use both the variables and he want to see the output of that. So he is asking like how can you use them? Okay. So let us see that. So now in the global variable he have int a equal to 10 and he have int b equal to 20. In the local variable he have int a equal to 50 and int b equal to 40. Now s out of a plus b. S out of A plus B. Okay. Now his assumption is he's gonna get this A value and B value. But now see, if I go and execute this, what is going to be the output now?
90.
Uh, wait, we didn't call it right. Let us go back and call it. So object dot add. So now what would be the output now?
90.
So why?
Friends to method.
Now let us go back here. When we have global and local variables with same name and type, with same name and a type. Type means nothing but your data type. Okay. The compiler will give preference. The compiler will give preference to the local variables only. To the local variables only. So to differentiate between local and global variables. So differentiate between local and global variables. We need to use a keyword called a keyword Avinash.
This.
Yeah, we need to use a keyword called this. Okay, this is a keyword which is used to represent the
Current class variable.
class level
Variable.
variables, which is going to represent your class level variables. So this keyword will play a different role when we have oops implemented. When we have oops implemented. Okay. So for now, it is going to be work like this only. Okay. Now I want to get the global level variables. How can I use now? S out of this dot A plus this dot B. This dot A plus this dot B. Now see, we got the two variables outputs. Got it clear? Samya, clear?
Yeah.
Clear, everyone?
Yes.
About usage of this keyword? Yeah.
ప్రతాప్ గారు ఒక డౌట్ అడగొచ్చా?
చెప్పండి.
ఫస్ట్ మనము int a equals to 10 and int b equal to 20 తీసుకున్నాం కదా. ఫస్ట్ రిజల్ట్ అన్నది మనకు 90 వచ్చింది, తర్వాత 30 వచ్చింది కదా, అది ఎందుకని రీజన్ ఏమైనా ఉందా?
అదే కదా ఇక్కడ చూడు, ఏ ప్లస్ బి అంటే ఏమైంది, ఇక్కడ ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది.
ఓకే.
ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ అనేది ఇక్కడైతే సేమ్ నేమ్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ సేమ్ నేమ్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ సేమ్ టైప్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ సేమ్ టైప్ ఉంది. సో అప్పుడు ఈ హైలైట్ అయిన ఏ అండ్ బి ఏమవుతాయి, ఏం వేరియబుల్స్ అవుతాయి? లోకల్ వేరియబుల్స్. సో ప్రిఫరెన్స్ దేనికి వెళ్తుంది? లోకల్ వేరియబుల్స్కి వెళ్తుంది. ఓకే. సో అప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ఏమవుతుంది అవుట్పుట్ ఇక్కడ 40 and 50 is going to be your 90. ఓకే. కానీ నాకు ఇప్పుడు ఏం కావాలి, ఇక్కడ ఈ క్లాస్లో ఉన్న వేరియబుల్స్ని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలి. నేను బట్టి ఏ అండ్ బి ఇచ్చాను అనుకో, మళ్ళీ ఇదే తీసుకుంటుంది. కానీ నాకేం కావాలి, ఈ క్లాస్ కింద ఉండే వేరియబుల్స్ కావాలి. సో ఈ క్లాస్ కింద ఉండే వేరియబుల్స్ రిప్రజెంట్ చేయడం కోసం మనం ఏం వాడతాం, దిస్ అనే కీవర్డ్ వాడతాం. ఓకే
ఓకే బ్రదర్.
గాట్ ఇట్ క్లియర్?
యా.
Everyone, yeah, fine. Now, let us see about your conditional statements. Conditional statements are used to alter the flow of test execution. It is going to help you to alter the flow of your test execution. Okay, so test execution based on a condition. So based upon a condition, that you are going to alter the flow of your test execution, not test execution, any execution. Okay, so now how to write conditions? Okay, conditions are conditions are written based on operators, based upon operators. So condition will be written based upon your operators. So operators will be as arithmetic what happened? Still spelling mistake. Arithmetic operators. So what are the arithmetic operators we have? Plus, minus, then multiplication, modulus division, right? So these are the things we will be having available for your arithmetic operators. Then we'll be having your logical operators. So what are the logical operators we have? Logical operators
and
and, comma, or, comma, not. Okay, now assignment operators.
equal to
Assignment operators, what will happen? We'll be having your equal to, okay, double equals to. Then increment operators, what you call increment operators? Plus plus.
plus
Decrement operators, decrement operator, minus.
minus
Okay, equivalence, equivalence operators, greater than, less than,
greater than or equal to like
greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, so these are the operators that will be available. So there is one more operator available called as ternary. Ternary operator, which is going to be called as question mark. Which is going to be called as what? Question mark. Arithmetic operators, logical operators, assignment operators, increment operators, decrement operators, equivalence operators, and your ternary operators. Using these operators only, we are going to write a strong conditions. Got it? Clear? So in Java, we have different conditional statements. So what are those? Which is going to be called as simple if. Next one is going to be called as if else. Third one is going to be called as else if. And fourth one is going to be called as switch case. Fourth one is going to be called as switch case. So now let us understand about your simple if. So now simple if will have a body. Will have a body. So this body will get execute only when the condition is true. Only when the condition is true. The syntax is going to be look like. The syntax is going to be look like if some condition curly braces, closer curly braces, and write your statement here and write our statement here. Okay, and write your statement here. So now here only when the condition is true then only the body will get executed. Then only the body will get executed. Body is nothing but whatever that is available inside your curly braces, right? Your logic will get executed. Else it won't get executed. Got it? Clear? Right? Now, let me go and create a dummy package here. I'm going to call it as conditional statements. Okay. Now, let me create a new Java class. Call it as simple if. Okay. Now I'm going to have my main method here. I have int a equal to 10 and I have int b equal to 5. Now I want to check whether a is greater than b or not. So to check that, what kind of operator should I use? Right? So now, yes, we have missed one more thing called double equals to. Let's see that. Okay. So I want to see the relation between these two operators. So now simple if a is greater than b. So now this condition is going to give me a boolean value true or false. This condition is going to give me boolean value true or false. Now I'm going to use system.out.println a is smaller than b. A is smaller than b. Okay. Now let me run this. Now a is going to be greater than b, right? So that this condition got executed. What happened here? It came here and it checked whether this a is greater than b, true or false. This is going to be true, so that we got the output as true or false here. Okay, got it clear? Soumya, Sushmita,
Yes, clear.
Yeah,
మా సౌమ్య అర్థమైందా? క్లియరా?
yeah, Pratap garu.
Now let me see about this if else. So when the main if condition is failed, and now we need to execute any other logic without considering without considering any logic to get executed, right? Without considering any logic, right? We use if else statements. We use your if else statements. The syntax is going to be look like if some condition, write your body here, then else write your alternative code logic here, and write your alternative code logic here. Okay, now we have if some condition, and then write your body inside this else, and write your alternative code logic here. So now let me go to Java class and write my if else here. Now let me write my main method. Let me write my main method here. Now I have my int a equal to 10. I have int b equal to 20. Now if a is greater than b, s out, right? A is greater than b, and if I use my else, s out, a is smaller than b. Now see here what happened. The condition a greater than b is false. So what happened here? It won't go for inside my if condition. Rather what it will do? It will go and enter into my else block. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది, ఇక్కడ ఏ అనేది బి కన్నా తక్కువ అవడం వల్ల ఈ మెయిన్ కండిషన్ ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు. పైగా ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ విల్ ఎంటర్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ఇంటూ మై ఎల్స్ బ్లాక్. Now see here what will happen. It will go and execute my a is smaller than b. The logic that is available inside my if condition, a is smaller than b, will get executed. Got it, guys? Clear about your if and if else?
Yeah, clear.
Right? Yeah. Ma Soumya, clear? Sushmita?
Yes, clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pratap.
Clear? Yeah. Now else if. When the main condition is failed, then if we want to check any other logic beside to it, right? We use else if block. We use your else if block. The syntax is going to be look like if some condition, if some condition. So write your logic here. Okay, now else if some condition, right? Some logic here. Okay, so even if this logic is going to be wrong, then you can able to write your else if some condition here. Okay, so now even if this logic is going to be wrong, right? We can able to have n number of else if there is no any limitation. So after everything is getting failed, you want to execute some other logic beside to that, then we will be writing your else logic here. Okay, so let us see about that. Else if I have a main method available here, int a equal to 500, int b is equal to, let me give it as 500, and let me give this one as a 200. Okay, now I want to check if a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, then I want to write a s out like a is greater than b. Now when it is going to be failed, I need to check one more condition. If a is greater than or equal to 50, greater than or equal to 50, right? And a is less than or equal to 100, less than or equal to 100, then I'm going to check that s out of a is lesser than b, but it ranges in between, but it ranges in between 50 and 100. It ranges in between 50 and 100. Else s out a is less than b, also not in range of 50 and 100, also not in the range of 50 and 100, also not in the range of 50 and 100. Now tell me what is the output I'm going to get. What is the output I'm going to get here?
A is lesser than B, but it ranges between 50 and 100.
See that, see properly. Soumya, what is the output I'm going to get? See properly, see properly. So now in the line number 8, A is greater than B, true or false?
False.
False.
True or
False.
false? Now come and check this condition. Else if A should be greater than 50. Yes, greater than 50.
Yes.
And less than equal to 100.
False.
False, right? Now this block is also not going to be execute. Then which block is going to be get execute?
A is
The
less
else part.
than
Else part, right? So what I'm going to get? A is less than B, also not in the range of 50 and 100. See now? If I go and give this one as a 100 now, see now A is less than B, but it ranges in between 50 and 100. Got it clear? How to use your simple if else, else if. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see about your switch case and its uses. When I want to use my switch case, how should I use my switch case? We'll see that tomorrow session.
Yes.
Got it clear, right?
Yeah, Pradhan.
Yeah. Fine then. I'll upload this video on the drive. Please go back and practice it well, guys. Okay. Thank you. Then.